What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Now we got some big trouble with Big Fani Willis, y'all. Check this out. This is great. Fani Willis has 2 weeks to pay conservative group thousands of dollars. So that's right. So Judicial Watch. Oh, this is going to be great. Judicial Watch sued Fani Willis over some records. She refused to turn over those records for a while. Now she's having to pay. We'll get into all that, but now she's having to pay them for the court costs, for the legal fees, and all that. Let's get into this, as a matter of fact. The conservative group Judicial Watch announced on Tuesday that a Georgia judge ruled Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis must cover about $20,000 in fees related to an open records case. You like how they phrased all this, how they laid out the groundwork for this. They said that a conservative group, Judicial Watch, said that a judge ruled. Why would they set it up that way? Why would they not just say a judge ruled on, what was that, Tuesday, that blah, 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 blah? Why would they say it like that? They say a conservative group said that a judge ruled. Well, don't you have court records to go look into? See, this is the media manipulation that I'm constantly talking about. And they do this on a consistent and steady basis all the damn time, it seems like. They'll phrase things in such a way where it's like, why'd they use so many words to say absolutely nothing? Or why did they give the end runaround? They're saying they said something that somebody else said. Why not say that? It's like, this doesn't make any sense. But it's those little bits of manipulation that can start you down a path of destruction, if you will. But let's keep going. Enough of my railing. The ruling is the latest blow for Fani Willis, who in December was disqualified from the case against President-elect Donald Trump into his alleged attempts at thwarting the 2020 election results in Georgia, a key state he lost to Biden that year but flipped back in 2024. Willis's handling of the case sparked criticism after an attorney representing one of Trump's co-defendants revealed she had a romantic relationship with one of the attorneys hired to lead the prosecution against Trump. That is right. We all remember good old Nathan Wade, Nathan's hot dog over here, and that whole situation, right? That was a very partisan judge that presided over that disqualification hearing, because to just split them up and not outright disqualify her, as we now saw back in December when it went to appeals court and the appellate court said, "What in the F? Are you kidding me?" Well, I forget the guy's name. McAfee, I believe Scott McAfee was his name. Are you kidding me, Scott McAfee? You allowed her to stay on this case after seeing some of the garbage that they were doing, right? Just loads and loads of impropriety. As he said, there's an odor of mendacity. No, I would say there's not just an odor. It's a foul stench of impropriety going on over here. But, he said, we're going to split the baby. We're going to say either Fani Willis has to go or Nathan Wade has to go. And you know who's going to go in that situation, right? It's going to be Nathan Wade, because she's the boss. It's crazy, y'all, but it is what it is. The order stems from an open records case in which Judicial Watch asked Willis's office to hand over any documents that would show potential communications with Department of Justice Special Counsel Jack Smith, who has led a separate probe into Trump's actions surrounding the 2020 election. Superior Court of Fulton County Judge Robert McBurney wrote in a January 3rd order that Willis's office violated the open records request by identifying responsive documents and categorizing them as exempt, but earlier saying no such documents existed. Yeah, that's what they came out with. That was their story from the beginning. No such documents exist because we didn't have any communications with these people. But come to find out, not only did they communicate a lot with Jack Smith, they also communicated with the White House before these indictments came down the pipeline, talking to White House staff, the lawyer staff, right? The White House lawyers, I guess. But talking with these people, getting all their ducks in a row, dotting their P's and crossing their Q's, or whatever. It's backwards or whatever. But, it's not even in the right order, but I'll say it however the hell I want to say it, because I make up words around here, in case you guys didn't know that. But yes, come to find out, yes, all this existed, and there was lots of collusion between these offices. Lots of collusion. But, leave it up to a conservative, a watchdog group to have to go in to find all this information out. Even if the records prove just to be that, exempt from disclosure for sound public policy reasons, which it's not, this late revelation is a patent violation of the ORA. And for none of this is there any justification, substantial or otherwise. No one searched until probed by civilian litigation, he wrote. He found Willis's office liable for paying Judicial Watch $19,360 in attorney's fees related to their efforts to enforce compliance with the request, as well as $2,218 in other related litigation expenses. Willis's probe against Trump focused on his call to Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, in which Trump urged him to, quote-unquote, find enough votes to tilt the election in his favor, as well as an alleged plot to submit a false slate of pro-Trump electors to the Electoral College. Yes, and they would have had a very, very tough time trying to do that, because Trump didn't put those slates of electors together. As a matter of fact, if you listen to that phone call, which we all did several times, anybody that was paying attention to politics looked into that phone call, what Trump was saying was go through and audit your votes, audit everything, and find 11,000 fraudulent votes, right? These people, the way they present the case, they're trying to make it seem like, and the mainstream news did this as well, and you guys might believe this, that Donald Trump called him and was asking the governor of Georgia, asking the governor of all people, to just create 11,000 votes. Like, that's how they portrayed it. That's not what that call was at all. That call was perfect, but it wasn't perfect, because Trump could be a little bit more clear when he speaks, if you will. He could speak a little bit more eloquently, but he doesn't. He speaks how he speaks, and that's what it is. But, from paying attention to that phone call, it's clear to see that he was asking him to audit the election to find fraudulent votes. That's what he wanted. What is wrong with that, right? Like, that's another thing. They tried to impeach him over all this. And once again, like with the Ukraine call, he calls saying, hey, I want this investigation into this guy. I saw a clip the other day of Joe Biden saying he bribed Ukraine to get a prosecutor fired. I want to look into this. And Democrats tried to impeach him over it. That was the first Trump impeachment. It's absurd what Democrats do. They called it a quid pro quo. That's not a quid pro quo. That is saying, hey, you need to investigate this or we're not going to help you out. That's what that was. But at the same time, he's trying to investigate a possible bribery scheme going on in the background, while at the same time withholding congressionally approved loan guarantees, which ironically was the exact same thing Joe Biden did. Very ironically, that is, right? And you know who is in charge of policy making when it comes to those, right? The President of the United States. So Donald Trump threatens to withhold congressionally approved loan guarantees, or it may have been military weapons or something like that. It was, regardless, it was congressionally approved to investigate a bribery scheme. What Joe Biden does is threaten to withhold congressional loan guarantees, that one I know for sure, if he doesn't fire a prosecutor. Seems fishy, doesn't it? Seems very fishy. And one gets impeached for it and the other one does not. As a matter of fact, they just completely ignore this. Most people don't even know that video exists. If you say anything about Joe Biden threatening to withhold congressionally approved loan guarantees if he doesn't fire the prosecutor, most liberals don't even know what the hell you're talking about. They're like, what? Yeah, it was a quid pro quo outright. He even said it on TV, on a video clip. I've played it, I don't know how many times, dozens of times. But yet they want to impeach Donald Trump over this? It's ridiculous. But I've gotten off into the weeds. Let's keep going. Trump has maintained his innocence, accusing Willis of targeting him for political purposes. Judicial Watch President Tom Fenton, in a statement, Fani Willis flouted the law and the court is right to slam her and require at a minimum the payment of nearly $22,000 to Judicial Watch. But in the end, Judicial Watch wants the full truth on what she was hiding. Her office's political collusion with the Pelosi January 6th committee to get Trump. What happens next? Willis has appealed the decision, but Trump's victory likely means Trump cannot go to trial until 2029, when his current term is up and he is out of the White House. That is correct. So, good luck, Fani Willis. This case is going to go away, right? This case is so ridiculous. It's absurd on its face because Trump didn't put together slates of electors. You want to go after him over the phone call? Like, that phone call is just up to interpretation. There's nothing wrong with a phone call. He's clearly not asking. Like, it's not really even up to interpretation. Because if Trump wanted the governor of Georgia to create votes, how is he going to go about doing this? Like, logically work through this for a second. He's going to ask the governor, of all people, to create votes? Really? Where on the other end, the more logical conclusion to that phone call is that he was asking him to audit the election to find 11,000 or whatever fraudulent votes. And what is wrong with that? What is wrong with finding fraudulent votes, with auditing an election? There's nothing absolutely wrong with that. Especially when you're hearing rumors about voter fraud. Right? There wasn't as much as we thought. We know what Democrats did, the shadow campaign. By the way, right here at the end of this video, go check that video out. It explains the shadow campaign, exactly how Democrats won the 2020 election, how Joe Biden won and all that, exactly what they did. It's underhanded as hell. That video is highly enlightening, and it shows just the lengths Democrats are willing to go to subvert democracy in this country, because that's exactly what they did. They called it fortifying the election. That's what they called it in that news article. We fortified the election against Trump's onslaught against democracy. What do you mean by that? Like, they never explained themselves on that one. But this is great news, y'all. The left just getting beat back, just getting beat senseless in the courts, in the polling locations, blah, 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 you name it, right? In the culture, they're just getting beat back, just bad. And I'm loving it, and I'm here for it, y'all. But I want y'all to let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comment section. This is just more great news, cherry on top type stuff over here. But y'all let me know what y'all think. That's all I got for this one. I want to thank everybody for watching. And y'all try to have a good day. Stay legitical. Peace.